saw Alex Wang, and he took us to a church and showed us pole dancer strip club fashion, which was ironic and button pushing and playful in his way. I thought the collection seemed quite young, sort of a real embrace of youth, and that felt slightly new to me.
Alexander Wang will never give you a show without an attitude. And this girl had an attitude. It's the cool downtown look. It was really about punk prevailing. It's a mix of the punk and the grunge. It's a girl with attitude. And I think that, Alexander Wang always has that.
I'm really happy to attend this show, and Alex is so sweet, and he's so talented, and every time he does something amazing, he's just, he's a genius. I think he's brilliant.
Alexander Wang is always responding to the street. I think he leads to the street too. The proportions were totally cool. I feel like Alexander Wang is no longer a younger designer. He's certainly not old guard, right? But very tough in a good way. And, it was great. We loved it, yeah.
Well, that was actually very Alexander, I think. It was very this kind of queen of the night, this kind of punkish girl, but very well done with a lot of irony. I loved the use of the words and the messages. It's very 80s somehow, but it's for a generation that was not there in the 80s, so it's great.
I do think that his time in Paris does bring a level of sophistication to the details of the clothes. Even though they're downtown and even though they're punk, the detail is very precise. There was the little jacket with a mini skirt, but it was a really proper, almost Chanel-like jacket with the details to it. So, I love that in Alexander Wang, because even when he wants to be serious, you can't really take the DNA out of it. And his DNA is that cool, that attitude, that street style that will always be with him. The show is terrific.
You can definitely tell that Alexander Wang, all of his energies are focused back on his house. Basically the Church of Alexander Wang is back in session, and I think that all of his disciples are there. I think he was very daring, and I don't think I'd want to run into any of those girls on a dark street at night. But that, punky, feisty street aesthetic is his, and he really showed that he owned it with that collection.